everyone, today I'll be reviewing this brand new series just dropped on Netflix called Straight from Hell, and this series centers around it is based on this biographical on this fortune teller, like one of the Japanese, it's the most famous fortune teller there. That's what I was reading this article. It is the show is based on. We see the shows like starts with she is this like top of her, I guess, game, she is the talk show host where she tells people fortune about their future. I guess it show starts with, although in the first episode we see she really makes some audience very upset by telling them, there's a death in your future. And then we see she meets in this show like this young writer or this young woman comes to work under her, and how she basically sees through her, like she is this evil person who is like telling lies to people. So this show later on we see like in the flashback scene how this woman actually rise to this power, from her childhood to the, I guess, the present time. This show really takes audience off, like when she was little, she was in this like the kind of like in a poverty era, especially post-war era in Japan. So I personally did like all those scenes. The way it was shot in this show is very high quality production, especially all those war scene. I was just like, oh wow, this looks not a war scene. I mean, like this during the war scene, the way the show starts, I was just like quite impressed. The production, especially take really audience to this time frame, it captured very nicely. So immediately, as the audience, you really feel engaged to the story. You are like, oh wow, very interesting. Then as it goes on, like we see her, like her teenager life, then she meets this guy, and even one scene we see she tried to kill herself, and then like as it goes on, she gets married and she meets other people, she all this like how she becomes so famous. So this show slowly it reveals to the audience, and as it goes on, it is quite interesting. So overall, this series overall is quite an interesting series. Although this series has a 9 episode, like if you are not familiar with the Asian drama, like if you are just watching for the first time, because often I get a comment like people are bored watching. So as I'm saying, overall it is very interesting drama. But there is some scene, it drags out a lot. Like there is some drag out scene, which if you are not used to with the, especially Japanese show, often they can actually often slow down and very slow pace they tell their story. But as it progresses, it does become interesting. So this show does have some, unfortunately, some of the scene does drags out. Like you may not find those very interesting, especially those plot line wasn't as interesting as I was hoping. Like, however, I did like all the thing about, how she become this fortune teller, like how she picked this profession and how she was so good at it, and how she was able to build it. So I did like those scenes. I felt them quite unique and interesting. Although it wasn't that much, I would say. The show didn't show you that much in detail about fortune teller story. It mainly focuses on like how her struggle was, and like how, like I guess how she was rising to the the fame. So it depends which plot line you enjoy in this, I would say. Like it can be vary for people. So I personally did like all the like fortune teller, that storyline. I did like this actress, she was quite good. I also like her younger version. That actress was also so good, I will say. All the acting in this really good. Also this young writer Minari, her character is also very interesting. She's like like when she meets this powerful woman, and she just see through her. She's this vicious, I guess, mean woman, like in her present life. She's really mean. So that's why I guess this show takes a lot of its time to build up her character in the past. Like they try to build her as a sympathetic. Some of the scene in the past scene, I will say, because in the present life she's very mean. I will mean, but at the same time, you know, she is this ambitious person and everything. So this show really captured that the feel for the audience. Overall, the show's the biggest thing is the production design, and the production is really high quality. Oh wow. All the costumes are also high quality. This is quite, I felt like high budget show, honestly. When I was watching it, I was just like, wow. Although I didn't get which year it took place, the current story. I forgot to see that, because I felt like still overall I was quite invested in the story. I was just like in it, you know. I overall did like overall. The show is quite interesting. As I said, yeah, it is quite interesting story, but there is some scene drags out. But overall, it is quite interesting that I personally really liked. And that's my thought on this show. Let me know in the comment, what do you think about the series? If you enjoyed this review, don't watch other reviews on other show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.